Welcome to Unlocking Your Truth, another podcast by Dr. Leslie Phillips.
Welcome everyone to tonight's edition of Unlocking Your Truth with Dr. Leslie and Corey.
Hello everyone.
Tonight's show is about life purpose, and especially how your chakras are connected with your life purpose. So we're going to talk about chakras and their meaning with regard to living your best life possible. Does it sound like a good idea?
It wouldn't have been better if I had thought of it myself.
Yes, this is Corey's suggestion, and I think it's a fantastic suggestion. So let's start. If you're new to the metaphysical stuff, we probably should explain first of all a little bit about the chakras. So chakras are energy centers that exist in your energy body or your energy field, which is associated with your physical body. You have 7 main or major chakras positioned along your spine, and each one is associated with an endocrine gland and a nerve plexus in the body. But each of those chakras also channels spiritual information that relates to a different aspect of your reality. And some of that spiritual information is actually your psychic abilities. And so through meditation, you can get to know yourself by getting to know your chakra system. And through them, you can receive your higher guidance. And in that way, become aware of your higher purpose and what it is that you need to do to live the best life that you would like to create for yourself. So your chakras actually, they process your life experiences and help you respond to them. And by exploring them, you can access your intuition and guide your life journey. So let's talk about these 7 main chakras. And like I said, they're spinning vortices of energy. And they're the interconnection between you, the body personality self, and you, the higher self in a way, the spiritual dimension of your existence. And the closer they get to the ground, then the more related they are to physical reality. So the one that's closest to the ground is the first chakra, and that's the one that relates to how to stay alive in a physical body on this planet. And it goes up from there, and the one at the top is the 7th chakra, or the Crown Chakra, and that is the gateway to higher consciousness. It's through that energy center that you connect with God or source energy and other higher dimensional levels of your being, such as your soul and your higher self. So we go all the way from earth plane reality all the way up to purely spiritual reality as we travel through the chakra system. So let's start with the one at the bottom, the first chakra, and then let's work our way up and take a look at how they relate to your life purpose, or how they relate to what you can do to live a better life. So as I mentioned, the first chakra, it provides your support and your information for having a physical body and staying alive and being healthy and having abundance and everything that you need to be in a body in the world. And so it channels information about your body, how to maintain its physical health, how to create abundance, and how to thrive on Earth. So that means it includes information about duality, about the opposites, about because when you're in this world, you're embedded in duality. Everything has an opposite. You have free will, you have choices. And so if you can get to know your first chakra, if you can own it, balance it, cleanse it, clear it, and learn how to consciously operate it, then you get to master all of those things I mentioned. So you get to heal, be healthy, have a healthy body, and you get to manifest in physical reality. So you get to create all the things that you want to create while you're here this lifetime. And, maybe what you want to create is an enjoyable, fun life. Maybe what you want to create is some kind of spiritual legacy that helps people. Or maybe you want to create a ton of money and a big house, right? But it requires you to have a level of seniority over your first chakra in order to live your best life.
Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm still busy trying to look at these vortexes. I can just imagine listeners like vortex, but what's a vortex look like? This.
Think of a Catherine wheel. Think of a spinning Catherine wheel.
What's a Catherine wheel, Leslie?
You know fireworks, the one that spins
oh,
like a
yes.
wheel, a spinning wheel.
Yeah.
And so they look like that when you look at them from the front. When you look at them from the side, they look like a cone or a almost megaphone shape. And they're all positioned horizontal to the ground. So imagine you've got a cone coming out.
Pointy end in?
Pointy end that touches the spine and wide end out the front of you, spinning like a
now I
Catherine
get it.
wheel. Yeah. Or the plug hole, when the plug hole goes down and the water, you see the water.
You mean the sink?
Yeah, the plug in the hole
sink.
in the sink.
Yes.
When the water drains and it spins, and you get that little sort of cone-shaped spinning thing.
Unless you're in Australia, then it spins the other way.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like what a chakra looks like. A bit like that. All right.
Oh, there's a topic for a show. Why does the water spin in a different direction in Australia?
That's to do with magnetics, isn't it? That's to do with the polarity of the planet. Yeah. Okay, but actually, you're like a little planet on your own, right? With your own North Pole and your own South Pole. Anyway, but that is another topic. So, okay, so we've done the first chakra. So what about the second chakra? And the first chakra is located near the base of the spine. The second one's located a couple of finger widths below the navel. And it channels information on emotions, sexuality, and body-spirit to communication. So it governs things like creative expression, reproduction, responding to physical and emotional signals. And when you take charge of it, then you can balance the needs of your body and your need to serve a higher purpose. So by consciously owning and operating it, you're free to choose your purpose versus only responding to the body's instincts, and you can use your unique creative vibration instead of merging with others. Because that's one of the big things about the second chakra is you can think of it as the relationship chakra, right? Emotions and sexuality and the body's sort of your sensory being. And so when operating from the second chakra, what a lot of families and groups do is they kind of all merge together and say, well, we're all the same, and so we're all going to merge together at this same vibration and be like each other, and we do it so that we're safe within our group and we have a sense of belonging. But what that does is it prevents each individual of the group from vibrating at their own unique frequency. And so mastery of your second chakra helps you start to distinguish me and my vibration from you and your vibration. And when you can do that, and you don't dilute your energy by having it spread out to other people, or you don't have your own energy field full of everyone else, then you can really start to distinguish more what's unique about you and what you really want to create, as opposed to being conflicted by thinking you want to create things that other people want. And so so by mastering your second chakra, you can, that's how you can live your best life, right? Because then you're dealing with your unique creative energy.
No, it sounds like it. Mm-hmm. I would assume so. Mm-hmm. I'm playing devil's advocate tonight.
Are you?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like that doesn't sound like you're in opposition at all. The devil's advocate's supposed to be in opposition, aren't they? You're just agreeing with everything I say.
Maybe.
All right. Okay. Well, so what about the third chakra? And this one's located
That's above the second chakra, I bet.
Yeah, it's located in the solar plexus. And it's got your information about energy distribution. That's one of the things that it governs. And so what that means is, where do I want to focus my energy? So you can't achieve your best life and fulfill your purpose unless you're focusing your energy in the direction that you want. Unless you are, consciously making those choices and those decisions. Otherwise, it can be all over the place. Right?
Interesting. I just thought of something. I remember when I was a kid, every once in a while, rough housing and stuff like that, somebody hit you in the solar plexus and you'd lose your breath. You couldn't breathe. Like, you're doing one of those, right? Mm-hmm. So how is that just physical, or does that relate, do you think, to the energy that solar plexus runs?
Well, I think that is a physical reaction, but that energy center, if somebody punches you in the stomach and you start to feel afraid and nauseous, that can be the third chakra shutting down, closing down.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is, like, when you get punched in the solar plexus, you don't have breath. So yes, there's fear.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is that the breath, that's a physical thing, right? It knocks the breath out of you. But spiritually, when you're having an altercation, what's quite common is for the third chakra to close down, and you need it to be open to have your power. And so what it feels like when it closes down is you feel nauseous and you feel scared.
Well, can't a physical motion create a reaction in a chakra?
Yeah, they're interrelated.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. To me, it just the 2 points met this time when we were talking about it, that, with regard to the solar plexus being the center where the pinion point where if you strike somebody right there, they lose. I mean, that's it. If you do that, they're gone. You've won, because they have they can't do anything.
Yeah. But don't confuse the physical level with the spiritual level, because remember at the beginning I said that the chakras are located near nerve plexuses, plexi. The solar plexus is a center where many nerves congregate. So if you punch someone there is a physical thing that happens in the nervous system. And also, they are located near to the glands, the endocrine system of the body.
Well, I'm just going to continue believing that they have something to do with each other.
Well, of course they do. Of course there's an interrelationship, right?
You can't stop me.
So let's finish off talking about the third chakra, because energy distribution isn't the only thing. It also governs out-of-body experience and astral travel and out-of-body memory, such as dream recall. So once you reach a level of mastery or self-awareness of your third chakra, right, and you know your purpose, owning your third chakra lets you consciously focus your energy to support your goals, and you can use it both in the physical realm and the astral realm. Okay, so you can be directing your energy towards figuring things out with respect to your life plan on the astral plane, and you can be focusing your energy in the physical body to support those goals. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good.
I wouldn't dare say no.
Good. All right, and so far we've talked about the first three chakras, and I think we'll do the others after the break. So let's just do a quick recap. So your first chakra relates to material reality, the material realm, the physical world, the physical body. Now, if we're talking about living your best life, I would imagine living your best life includes wanting to be healthy, wanting to be fit. It includes wanting to have, enough food on the table, enough, money to do the things that you want. All of that is governed by the first chakra. So if your first chakra is blocked, if you're full of fear about those things, then your first chakra will be blocked. Then you're going to have trouble creating the best life. Okay, but if your first chakra is running smoothly, then, and there aren't any limits or blocks, then you'll be able to create the life that you want. And we talked about the second chakra, which is the human relational chakra, emotions, sexuality, and those kinds of things. And if you've got blocks in your second chakra, then you might have trouble building relationships with people. You might feel overwhelmed by other people's energies. But if you have mastery over your second chakra, then you're very clear about your own sexuality, you're very clear about your own emotions, and also your own creative impulses, how you want to create this lifetime. And then we also talked about the third chakra, which is responsible for energy distribution. And so throughout the day, your energy distribution is changing. Throughout your life, your energy distribution is changing. And so if you've got a certain purpose or idea of what you're wanting to achieve right now, your energy needs to be focused in that direction. And so your third chakra helps you do that. If your third chakra is blocked, then you'll be off purpose because you won't be, your energy will be going in different directions. The third chakra also governs out-of-body experience and out-of-body memory. And so what you're doing outside of the body, what you're doing in your astral body, and also bringing that information back into the physical body. So if that's dysfunctional, then you may bring in inappropriate information that's confusing, that also puts you off kilter and out of alignment, for example. So, you've been listening to Unlocking Your Truth with Dr. Leslie and Corey.
Yes, you have.
We're talking today about chakras and life purpose, how they're connected, and the chakras and their meanings with regard to living your best life. We're going to be back really shortly. That we are. Hello, everybody. This is Unlocking Your Truth with Dr. Leslie and Corey. And tonight we are talking about your chakras and your life purpose. So we're exploring the meanings of the different chakras, specifically with regard to living your best life possible. Before the break, we talked about the first, second, and third chakras. And those are the ones that are located at the lower part of your spine, and they're more related to physical reality. So, now we're going to cover the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th.
All of those at once?
Well, I should have to do it in a linear fashion and explain one at a time, I think. So the next one's your 4th chakra. It's located at the heart plexus, so near your physical heart. And it channels information on oneness and affinity. And so what is oneness and affinity? Well, do you ever feel really passionate about something, or really magnetized to a particular person or in a particular life direction? That's your affinity. That's your heart's affinity. It's a kind of a magnetic pull. That is a kind of guidance that leads you onwards. Oneness relates to the interconnectedness of all things. And of course, we're all one. But when we're alive in physical bodies in this world, we're having the experience of being separate individuals. And so oneness helps you, the separated individual, understand where you fit within the whole. And that can be within the whole of creation, within the totality of God. And that can also be on this planet and within humanity. So if you think of humanity as a symphony, with every human having a unique frequency or a unique note within that frequency, it's through your oneness that you can begin to appreciate where you fit. And it helps you to raise your consciousness above competition levels. Wishing that you were like somebody else. Because that person's different than you, they have their own unique frequency that they're meant to play, and if you try and play their note, you're making some disharmony. So that's oneness and affinity. And so when the heart center or the heart chakra or the 4th chakra is balanced, then you're able to appreciate and accept yourself and others exactly as you are, exactly as they are. You're able to accept and appreciate your unique creations. Okay, so it's a state of being in acceptance. And if your 4th chakra is healed, then it opens your passion for your higher purpose. So an open heart chakra can guide your life direction because it helps you sense what you're It helps attract you to what you need to fulfill your life purpose. If it's blocked, then you'll be facing all sorts of issues like self-judgment, self-criticism, non-forgiveness, unworthiness, and so on and so forth. So your heart chakra can help you being in touch with it, and having it be healed and clear and unblocked helps direct you to your best life, because there's a kind of intuition called affinity which will draw you towards situations, people and things. And there's also an aspect called oneness that helps you really understand where you fit in and what your place is and what your role is in the world. So that's the heart center, and that's sort of in the middle between the lower and upper chakras.
That sounds interesting. I like the heart chakra.
I love it.
The reason Dr. Les is laughing is because I always make fun of her a little bit. She loves everything. Look, Scotch tape. Oh, I love Scotch tape. Oh, look, a pen. Oh, I love pens.
That's right. Yeah, be in the vibration of love, everybody. You won't regret it. All right. So now let's look at the upper chakras now. So the next one, the 5th chakra, is located at your throat, near your thyroid. And this is the communication chakra. I mean, they're all about communication, but this is the one that helps your higher self communicate with your body personality. You can also communicate with physical and non-physical beings through your 5th chakra. It governs speech, hearing, self-expression, and helps you to tune in intuitively via a whole bunch of different forms of psychic ability: broad and narrowband telepathy, clairaudience, inner voice, and pragmatic intuition. So if this chakra is unbalanced, you may feel uninspired. You may lack creativity or lack the ability to feel like you can, you might have ideas but not be able to speak them or get them out there. You'll have trouble communicating clearly to other people. So communication problems. And so you can see how that might block you from living your best life. So if you mastered your fifth chakra, if it's clear and if it's operating correctly, then it serves your personal goals and higher service, because you're able to listen to other people's unique perspectives and express yourself clearly. You're able to listen to your own inner voice and receive guidance from your higher self. You're able to hear your guides and angels. And you're also able to perform in a very practical manner. And so being able to follow the practical kind of trail of breadcrumbs that leads you where you need to go in the life direction that you're wanting to head. So that's the fifth chakra and the throat chakra. So we've got 2 more left.
You know something I just realized? Quiz is a great Scrabble word.
Yeah, because it's got a Q,
Q and a Z.
And a Z, yeah.
Or ZZ, I don't know. One of the two.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just wrote something down. And I just realized, hey, quiz is a great word.
That's because Corey's fifth chakra is full of quizzes. Because we've been working on our psychic ability quiz.
Oh, yeah, and it's a nice one.
Yeah.
Effective and fun.
Okay, sixth chakra, located in the brow, and it's associated with the brain, the pineal gland.
Le troisième yeux, third eye.
Yes, that's right.
I knew that.
Yeah, and this one channels your information on being able to see as spirit. So that's sometimes called clairvoyance, and also abstract intuition. And so these are the abilities that allow you to see your guides, perceive colors in the aura, for example, and out-of-body beings, and shapes, vibrations, and frequencies of energy. So it's a kind of visual intuition, and enables you, it governs your sight in this reality and also your second sight in other realities. It gives you clarity about your higher purpose, because when this energy center is unblocked and operating correctly, you can see very clearly about yourself and others. You can observe all the other aspects of yourself from a neutral, accepting, non-judgmental perspective. Okay, so you can see your body, your emotions, your intellect, your life creations, and take charge of all of it. And because you can see so clearly, it helps you be able to release limits, and so that you can focus on what you want to create. And it helps you see your own personal truth, your own personal desires and needs, so that you can choose to follow that intuition, that second sight, that clairvoyance, in order to be happy and live the best life possible.
Yay. It's all about living the best life possible, right?
Yeah. And then the final...
Because I have a really doozy question for you when we're done.
Do you? Is it from you or
No, from me.
Okay. Well, that's fun.
Question.
He's going to put me on the spot, listeners. Okay. Well, I'm on the spot every week, so that's all right. So the final one, the Crown Chakra, the seventh chakra, this is the place where you, the spiritual being, and it's located on the top of your head, by the way, where you, the spiritual being, can enter your body. And it's got information on how to channel your own energy, how to channel the energy of others if you wanted to do channeling. It connects you to source and your higher wisdom, and it channels your ability to know. And so it allows direct connection to the divine. And so when it's in balance, you know who you are. You know why you're here. You're connected to your God. You can communicate with your God. You can hear the answers from your God. You can hear, you can know the answers from your higher self. And it can help you understand all your life challenges, your life purpose, and provide guidance as you progress through the life journey. So that's the crown chakra. So every single one of these energy centers relates to your life purpose and being able to live the best life possible. And they all work as a whole. Okay, so we've talked about them individually and separately because we can't talk about them all at once, but they work together. They communicate with each other. They're interconnected. It's an interconnected dynamic system which is responding to your life and your life situations. And through meditation and through getting to know yourself and getting to know your chakra system, then you can really, really understand from a spiritual perspective why what's happening is happening, what you're learning from it, how you have beliefs that are limiting yourself, and how you can let them go so that you can live a life, a fulfilling, happy life of peace, passion, and purpose. Here endeth the sermon.
Oh, hilarious. Actually, you answered my question. My question, how do you roll them all up into one? And better, how would your life benefit from having them all wonderfully done up? So here's another question then, with enough time till we take a couple of minutes pause for a drink of water. What happens if my chakras are not happy?
Oh,
and what do you do?
Okay, so I mean that sounds like a short question, but it's a big question. But as I went through, I did talk about specifically to each of the chakras what it might be like if they're blocked. But if they're blocked, then your life isn't going to feel like it's running smoothly. You're going to have challenges. You are going to get caught in vicious cycles of the same thing over and over and over again. For example, until you clear that block, you may develop, if it's a significant enough block, you could even develop physical problems. You could even develop a physical, what we call a disease. And so a healthy chakra is one where the energy is flowing through unimpeded, and any time you have a limiting belief, or you've stored pain in that area of your body, or you have stored fear in that area of the body, the energy will not be running smoothly, and that is a lack of ease, which can lead to disease.
Interesting. And what do I do? If I have a block, what do I do?
So there's different things that you can do.
Do.
Yeah. So you may learn to meditate, and through meditation, you may learn to release and let go of your blocks. You may go and see a healer or an intuitive mentor who can teach you how to unblock yourself, or who can give you information, or who can give you a healing.
What I meant is, like, it does sound like when you say it, oh, well, just, meditate and remove the block, but you don't know what you don't know, in essence. That's the old saying. So how do you know it's blocked? And again, I'm not really asking that. It's a rhetorical question. The easiest way is to see somebody who can see these auras and see them and help you realign them. There's no question.
So let me answer that in a different way. Every human is on their own unique path of spiritual unfoldment. And eventually, as you travel along that path of spiritual unfoldment, you open up to this level of information. And, each person's unique, and their way to that unfolding for them is different. And there are many different, modalities out there in the modern world that can help you with this. But it's a journey. We're all on a journey of spiritual unfoldment and growth and return to source energy. And so eventually, after many incarnations, or fewer or less, everybody gets there in the end. So we better go for a break. So you've been listening to Unlocking Your Truth with Dr. Leslie and Corey. Today talking about living your best life. Living your best life. Welcome back to Unlocking Your Truth, everybody. Tonight's show's been all about chakras and living your best life. And we have our first caller of the evening. Hello, caller.
Hi, Leslie. It's Alana. How are you?
Very good. How are you?
Pretty good. The reason why I'm calling is I've been struggling a lot with, I currently live on one of the Gulf Islands, and it seems like I need to move to, say, Victoria in order to, get certain treatment for this health condition I have. And I'm just kind of, I don't know if I'm just kind of reluctant of change or what the issue is, but I'm just really hesitating, and I'm just wondering if you could look at that to see what might, be in the way of me moving forward.
Do you mind sharing anything about the health condition?
It's like a neurological condition. It's similar to Meniere's disease. It's like a vestibular migraine condition where I'm in this state pretty much all the time. And, yeah, it's just, so I was thinking about doing a couple different things there in the city that's available.
Okay. Well, I'll take a look for you, Alana.
Yeah, but I kind of I thought I should move there and, focus really on healing, but at the same time, I don't know if I'd be making, a mistake or something.
Well, to me, it does look like the better choice. If the choice is to stay where you are, or the choice is to move, it does look like it is a... Well, what I want to say is, let me see if I can try and find the best way to say this. It's like, in a way, you committing to move is the same as you committing to focus on your health. And because you will have moved in order to get healthy, it's almost like your intention to get well is stronger if you move. And so to me, it looks like moving looks like the better option. But the other thing that's coming up to say is, of course, in a way, it doesn't matter where you live. In order to get better, you need to be committed to whatever it is that you need to change within yourself in order to be healed. And I'm seeing that that's the core of this. And so it's possible for you to heal yourself wherever you live. And this is about you digging deeply within yourself and finding the root causes of this condition and changing your belief systems. But it looks to me like if you choose to move, that's like, well, I'm committing now. I'm doing it. I'm focusing on it. And everything is more conveniently located, so it's harder for me to, it's harder for me not to do it. Whereas on the island, it's like, well, I got to get on a boat if I want to, do this.
Yeah, I find the travel aggravates it, so that's why I was thinking about not commuting.
Yeah. Let me see if I can see why you're hesitating. See if we can get some information on why the hesitation, what is within you that's... Well, what I'm seeing is... it's the avoidance of dealing with the pain. It's an avoidance thing. It's like, okay, if in order to get healthy, I really am going to have to dig deep and address some of these pain pictures deep within my psyche.
Okay. So you see this condition as also like an emotional, or what am I trying to say? Like not just, a physical, but, like deeper than that?
Well, let's take a look. Did they give it a label? Did they give it a name?
Well, I call it vestibular migraine, which is it's like feeling off kilter all the time, like I want to fall over, like I'm walking on a boat. It's like a silent migraine. But I seem kind of stuck in this state.
And it's nothing to do with the ear, the inner ear?
Well, no. It could. But I think it could also have to do with my eyes, the vestibular system. And
okay, well, let's take a look. So it's more of a 6th chakra. Let's take a look. Well, okay, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing it has to do with... Let's see. You take 2 human beings and put them in the same place at the same time when an event happens. Each one will have a different story, because each one is filtering the reality through their own belief systems, right? And their own perceptions.
Right.
And I'm seeing that this has to do with your reality filters and your programming in your brain, a lot, kind of in different places in the brain, actually. The emotional center, but also other centers, and even the logical mind and the frontal lobes. I'm seeing that it's in different places in the brain, and it's like when there's an event in your life, or when there's an interaction in your life, there are your personal reality filters that color what you see in a certain way. Okay, and you have some of those that you've been dealing with for many years, and I'm seeing that because you've been dealing with them for so very long, that they've manifested into this condition. And so it's about you really looking at that and clearing it on a spiritual level. So that's what I'm seeing.
Okay.
It looks a bit multifactorial, like I said. It looks like if you wanted to locate where it's happening in the brain, it's not one place. It's many places. But if you wanted to start somewhere, the frontal lobes, the thinking brain, the analytical mind.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
All right, well, thanks so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for calling.
All right, talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
So that was our caller, Alana, asking about a condition that relates to her 6th chakra that is interfering with living her best life, just like we were talking about on the show.
Yes, we were. She must be psychic.
She must be.
Now, I take it you're looking for some questions. You're looking over my way, are you?
Yeah, I'm looking for you to fill some airspace.
Airspace. Well, I had something to say to Alana too, but I guess I just wasn't quick enough.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Why don't you say it now? It'll be on the thing.
Because I have to ask her a question.
Oh,
I can't ask her a question.
I didn't catch your eye. You should have waved at me across the room.
No, you were doing great. Now, what I have for her is that she, I'm not sure if I picked up the right information at the beginning. Was she talking about, because I had to step out of the room, was she talking about a boat or travel?
Yeah, she lives on one of the Gulf Islands.
Yeah, I understand.
And she's thinking of moving to the main island, Vancouver Island, so that she can have access to the treatment. And while she lives on the Gulf Island, she's got to travel to get the treatment, right, on ferries.
So she's having problems with that, though.
She said it brings on the condition.
Yeah. Well, her condition stems from when she was 7 years old. She, I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to talk to her.
Yeah, me too. Well, we can send her the link.
Yeah, well, what happened was there was a trauma related to the boat. Now, it didn't have to be a boat. It could be a boat, a bus, a plane, but her parents lost her. She was lost. She got lost. You know how, like, when you're in a shopping mall and you go and they have to, and like the panic that sets in.
Yeah.
So, at this point in her life, this trauma is reliving itself in a physical. As you know, almost everything is every physical ailment relates to a trauma, and so what she's feeling this trauma, or this trauma is reliving itself in her. And that's why the boat thing is the ferry thing is happening to her, and it could have just been stimulated by something recently. I don't know how long this has been going on for her, but it could have been just a recent stimulation that activated that trauma within her. But it stems back to about 7 years old.
Well,
I see.
Thank you, and we hope you're still listening, Alana. But if not, we do have your email, so we'll try and. Remember to send you a
I know
link.
she listens to the shows afterwards anyways.
Yeah.
Because she likes to hear herself talk. I'm not sure. No, just kidding, Alana. We know you love getting onto the show and getting your questions answered. We enjoy having you.
Do you have another question?
Yes, why am I so confused? No.
That'll be a 6th and 7th chakra issue.
Okay, here we go. I know why I'm confused, because the questions aren't separated. Okay. Seriousness now. Okay. Let me check the time. Well, don't have that much time, but let's see if we can get through. How about this is a question from Annie. And Annie says, my ex-boyfriend, said he is well over me now and has no longer got any feelings for me. Is he not telling me the truth about how he still feels for me?
Oh, okay. Well, that should be a quick one. Let's take a look. He's telling you his truth from the perspective that he's coming from. The perspective that he's coming from is the body personality, right? And so, so let's look at it from a spiritual perspective and a physical perspective. In physical reality, he's telling you how he is telling you how he feels. He does feel like that he's done with that. And part of the reason why he feels he's done with that is because some things in the relationship triggered him to feel pain. And yes, some of that pain is old pain and some of that pain is real new pain, but he just decided that I don't want this. Now, I'm seeing the reason that this is difficult for you to accept is that you're looking at the relationship at a higher spiritual perspective, and I find this is quite common. People, especially women, you get in a relationship with someone and you know that there is this deep connection of love at the core of your beings. You know that this is a person in your soul group. You know that you are connected by love. You know that there's affinity there. And yes, there is. And yes, this is why you are being magnetized to each other and why you are coming into connection this lifetime. But in tuning into that reality, then what happens is that the person expects that will then, it has to be a love relationship and it has to turn out well. And it doesn't. Because, from the soul's perspective, whether it does or doesn't work out, it's still an opportunity for growth. And so we can be with someone who's in our soul group, who we are eternally connected through love, in a relationship in our physical bodies that doesn't work out. So I hope that helps you accept and move on.
Yeah, I hope so too. By the way, that was Annie from St. Helens in the UK. And I have a question from Shay, and she's in Pretoria, South Africa.
Okay.
Hi, I'm a child of God, a born-again Christian. I would like a reading. Thank you in advance.
Okay, well, we've got about 3.5 minutes left till the end of the show. And so I can just give you a reading and say, yes, I see your faith is very strong. I see that you have your own unique alignment and connection with your God, that it looks wonderful and look like it works really, really well for you. And so I'm seeing that you are completely in alignment and on track for who you are and the path that you are on.
Ditto.
Great. Well, listeners.
So just a quick note on that. And I bet you donuts to bananas that she didn't get struck down by lightning asking that question. Sorry, there's just a little cynicism there.
I'm sure she did.
Cynicism.
Yeah, no, she looks great. Her energy looks great. Who she is, it looks great.
I just made another funny cynicism. Oh, I'm hot tonight.
Yeah, so we'll be back next week.
With another wonderful Unlocking Your Truth.
Yeah, live.
With Dr. Leslie.
Yeah.
And Corey.
Yeah.
Live.
Yeah.
7 o'clock.
We can't wait.
In the evening.
No, not in the morning. I'm not getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
7 p.m.
Yes.
Pacific time.
Yeah.
It was wonderful seeing you all again.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us. You've been listening to another Unlocking Your Truth podcast by Dr. Leslie Phillips. For more information, go to our website at drlesleyphillips.com. That's drlesleyphillips.com, where you can ask questions or send her an email, and there's many free gifts on there for you as well. You can also find the questions that were asked during this show at the website on our free card reading podcast page, where you'll find a full list of them. Come back again.